This is where it all began, the small town of Webster, South Dakota. Not exactly where one would expect a world-class news broadcaster to come from. Tom Brokaw was born here on February 6, 1940, to Gene Conley and Anthony Brokaw. Brokaw was the eldest of 3 boys. The family moved around frequently due to work, but finally settled in Yankton, South Dakota, where Brokaw attended the Yankton Senior High School. While in high school, Brokaw was named governor of the Legion Boys State of South Dakota. This gave him the opportunity to attend a national convention in New York City with the governor of South Dakota, Joe Foss. Foss and Brokaw would have a long-lasting relationship all throughout Brokaw's career, and Foss would eventually be featured in Brokaw's best-selling book, The Greatest Generation. For college, Brokaw attended the University of Iowa, which he dropped out of at the advice of a guidance counselor there. Brokaw would go on to earn a degree in political science from the University of South Dakota, located in Vermilion.
NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
Good evening. We begin tonight with an NBC News exclusive, a new and threatening message from Al-Qaeda, a videotape aimed at Americans and Saudi Arabian rulers.
Brokaw had always had an interest in politics and reporting, and would eventually go on to combine the two. Shortly after working his first job for a little over a year, Brokaw would be moved to Atlanta to not only anchor a news spot, but also to cover the civil rights movement. Brokaw would say later in his career that being in the right place at the right time was what really got him going. NBC noticed his talents in Atlanta and would eventually move him to California to be one of the hosts of the nightly news. Although like anyone, Brokaw was happy with the promotion, he was not fully satisfied with what he was doing for the news team. He wanted more, and that more for Brokaw was to become a political correspondent on Capitol Hill. Brokaw would eventually be moved to the job he had always dreamed of, becoming a political correspondent for NBC on Capitol Hill. After being a political correspondent, Brokaw was bumped into the position of the head White House correspondent, his dream job. 1973 was about the time the Watergate scandal was really starting to take off. Covering this really proved what Brokaw could do. During this time, Brokaw also continued to anchor the Saturday editions of NBC's nightly news. Following Brokaw's success on Capitol Hill, NBC gave him the chance to cover both the Democratic and Republican conventions of the 1976 election year. During this time, Brokaw also covered the primaries between Jimmy Carter and Walter Mondale. All of his success with these two events gave him the opportunity for another promotion. In its 24th season, Brokaw became the host of NBC's Today Show. Due to this high position, Brokaw was able to cover many important events, including Ronald Reagan's 1980 run for president, as well as an exclusive interview with Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev. Because of his success with the Today Show, Brokaw was named co-anchor of the NBC Nightly News, which broadcasts live from New York. However, the then president of NBC News, Reuven Frank, decided that the co-anchor program was not working. And on September 5th, 1983, the NBC Nightly News, starring Tom Brokaw, aired for the first time. Because of this promotion, Brokaw was able to cover many national and international events that were very historically significant. These included the Challenger disaster, the Hurricane Andrew wreckage, and most internationally important, the taking down of the Berlin Wall. This was one of Brokaw's biggest achievements throughout his entire career. He was the only American broadcaster to broadcast from this location live. During the 1990s, Brokaw would become a name that's synonymous with disaster. He became one that many of the American public trusted to give them honest facts when our nation was in times of peril. These would include events such as the Oklahoma City bombings, as well as his live broadcast from the Northwest Airlines Flight 800. To add to his list of great successes, Brokaw also claimed the first one-on-one interview with Russian leader Vladimir Putin done on American soil. Brokaw, by landing this interview, showed that he was one of the superior newscasters in the game at this time. Brokaw would also go on to have many more international successes later in his career, but this would remain one of his biggest and show that he was truly dedicated to what he did.
Tom Brokaw was a great journalist because of his intense dedication to his work, no matter what the story.
During 1993 and 1994, Brokaw would co-host a show with Katie Couric. Even during this time, Brokaw would also create reports for 60 Minutes as well as appear regularly on NBC's Dateline. Brokaw really enjoyed what he did and spent as much time doing it, living his life to the fullest. As an anchor and reporter for NBC, Brokaw had many great moments. He took on any challenge with great purpose, as one of his senior editors at NBC said. One of Brokaw's greatest showings of his committal to his work was during the terrorist attacks of 9/11. As soon as Brokaw heard that the U.S. had been attacked, he rushed to the NBC news station and would anchor all during that day and well past midnight. The following 2 days, he would also anchor well past midnight. Brokaw would cover the resulting wars, including many live broadcasts from the Middle East. Brokaw worked for NBC for 21 years, officially ending his broadcast career on December 1st of 2004. Although he has stepped down, he has stepped up many times to help NBC since 2004. Brokaw also had many great achievements outside of the broadcast journalism world. These included writing many best-selling books. During his career, Brokaw reported over 25 documentaries and did countless live broadcasts from as far away as the Middle East, and most notably, a special anniversary broadcast from Normandy Beach in France. Since his official retirement in 2004, Brokaw has been back to primetime countless times to do documentaries, as well as moderate many political events and other national importance events. Over the course of his long and illustrious career, Brokaw made many marks on the U.S. as well as world history. Some of his greatest moments were when the nation was at its worst times. Through all of his dedication and hard work, Brokaw showed what it means to be a great news anchor as well as a journalist. The hole that is left in the journalism community by Brokaw leaving will probably never be filled again. Currently, Brokaw resides in Livingston, Montana with his wife Meredith, who was a former Miss South Dakota. He has 3 daughters, Jennifer, Andrea, and Sarah, who are all thriving in careers of their own. Although Tom Brokaw is gone from the prime time, his legacy lives on. I'm Woody Hust here in South Dakota, wishing you